Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fiona Wall, and you are welcome to yet another episode of the Fat Talk, faithful, available, and teachable talks, brought to you courtesy of the Fidelis Leadership Institute and Smart 24 TV. Today is an exciting day because, as you all know, the Fidelis Leadership Institute is all about creating ethical leaders around Africa, and we're doing this through a lot of things, but one of them is a thought leadership platform on Twitter Spaces. We're live on Twitter Spaces. We are live on Smart TV, which airs in all the countries in Africa where DSTV is. And I want to welcome today a very special person, an ethical leader who has laid the limelight, I should say. But she's also known for her humility and, interestingly, for being a bit of an introvert. Quite an introvert. She has sailed through a large, should I say, not political, career. She has worked in almost every big media house in Uganda. She's been very key in being a harbinger of change in the media houses where she worked, and I think she was the first regional head for CNBC in Uganda. She has headed manager for the UBC in UBC TV. She has been a TV presenter and anchor with WBS. She's had quite the journey. I do not want to introduce her in so many ways, but we know that she is a principal private secretary to the President, His Excellency, the President. And yeah, she's a senior secretary to the President. And in her role, she has been able to not only do this, but also to write a book. And the book is The CEO in You. His Excellency, the President, I remember, introduced her, an innovative young lady, and he stated that she was very passionate about business and leadership. And she actually, I told you she's a harbinger of change. A harbinger is that insect when there's a swarm of locusts and they want to go somewhere to eat. They send an adventurous person, an adventurous locust that goes and tests the land and discovers and comes back and says, yes, there's food there. So she's a harbinger. And as a harbinger, she was very instrumental in starting the Presidential CEO Forum, which is a private sector engagement platform for CEOs in the private sector to engage with His Excellency the President in making sure that they drive private sector initiatives for development. So with us, we have author, leader, CEO, the CEO in You, author Irene Birungi Mugisha, who was surprised to blossom where you planted. Irene, you're very, very welcome.
Thank you. That's quite a very humble introduction. In the last few minutes, I was like, is that she is or something else? But thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to be on this platform.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure for me. I feel so warm in the background where I feel so comfortable. And that, for me, to be the studio of Smart 24, I'm really, really honored, and thank you so much for the opportunity, as well as to know that the Fidelis Leadership Institute of what you're doing in terms of bringing leaders together and speaking to that empty space where we need to encourage each other. That's very, very inspiring as well. So thank you. And again, humbled by the introduction. It's Irene Birungi Mugisha here.
Yes. So Irene, you're an award-winning television journalist. You have been a broadcaster. You've been a columnist. So words have been your stock in trade, so to speak. Did you always love words? How was Irene growing up? I know you'll get a huge excerpt of who Irene was growing up. She has a beautiful beautiful family. I really enjoyed reading this book, Irene. I felt like I was getting to know shades of you, differently, yes. So, Irene and Words, when did the love story begin?
Wow, Irene and Words. I believe it's really started when I was still actually probably in kindergarten. Again, being an introvert, I found self-belief and self-satisfaction in reading the small books that we always had. Reading books at the kindergarten and later on back home. My mom being a teacher by profession, she always had some very beautiful reading books. So that to me became my inspiration, I believe. Later on I found out that yes, that's true, that's what became my inspiration. But I loved reading from way back when I was still a young kindergarten, then primary, and then of course during my understanding age, I found myself in the career that I didn't even think I would actually be venturing into. So this love for reading, the love for writing, it's really from the time I was able to write, the vowels of the time I was able to write one sentence of this is a book or this is a cat. So that's the time I started to.
So did you love reading anything, current affairs? What used to draw you? Do you have any particular genre if you read books?
I loved reading very simple, nice, interesting life storytelling books. And again, current affairs, no. I believe that came later on in my career. But all the books, the literature books, I would think of literature until senior 2. That's where I did senior 1 and senior 2. But all my reading books that I can recall, everything to do with a life story or an adventure. Also of someone trying to tell a story into the animal kingdom. So those were my storybooks. Yeah.
Wow. A change maker. You say you like change that easily, or you bring change? Those three. Do you like change?
Easily like change, adapt easily, or
make change?
Make change. I like change and also make change.
Okay.
Not make change if you don't like change. So, and it starts with where I'm at here right now. If I don't like this spot on this table, so I should be able to and that starts with what you believe in and what you think about yourself, and then the entire environment around you. So liking change and believing in making change, it has been manifested all my lifetime. Being the firstborn at home, even the assignment, even by default, that you're supposed to actually take care of your students, or you're supposed to do something, take care of home, everything. So that started then. For everything I had to do had to be perfect, because someone had to come back home. Say, I don't like this, you have to redo it. And I really didn't like anything to do with redo. So that was not in my system. So I did everything.
You don't resist paper.
So
I guess that's why you're working for His Excellency the President right now. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that do not know, this book, The CEO in You, written by Irene, has a foreword by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and it's very, very important that you read this foreword. So just allow me. He states that according to the scriptures, it's recorded that God had finished creating the heavens and the earth. He appointed a CEO to superintend over all creation, living and unliving. The CEO role fell unto human beings, and God said, "Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, the cattle, and over all the earth, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." God gave a clear job description to the earth CEO. However, it is up to mankind to either fulfill or abscond from his primary responsibility. What are the results of absconding from the sacred media yet. The failure to live up to this commandment subjects man to the whims and vagaries of nature. This is His Excellency stating this. I want to just rush a bit to where he talks about this book. Therefore, the book, The Sea Oil is important because it awakens the reader to their original and fundamental assignment on earth. Societies that have mastered the concept of a man as a maker have attained the degrees of technological advancement and development. Since 1986, the environment has worked towards ensuring that the people of Uganda take full charge of their political, economic, and social destiny. He states that this book is a welcome addition to the ongoing efforts to empower the African people to become better CEOs of their surroundings. The good CEO makes correct diagnosis of the problems of society and offers accurate prescriptions to cure them. The valuable wisdom, knowledge, and experiences shared by the author of this book will help improve decision making and instill confidence in the homegrown initiatives and solutions to contemporary problems. Signed YK, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. This is huge, I read, and I do not know anybody who has written a foreword yet. There are probably many, but fast. So, and hearing his language here, he's always telling us about correct diagnosis. Yes. Sometimes he says, correct diagnosis. You lawyers, I remember when we went to visit him, you lawyers, before you can subscribe a diagnosis, you need to first understand the problem, you know? What is the problem? Diagnose it, and after that, a solution. So he looks at this book as a solution, one of those problem solutions. So I read The Lover of Words, I read The Change Maker, how, and you need to get a copy of this book. It's 100,000 shillings. There's different versions of it you can get, and we'll keep communicating where you can get this book. But one thing I love about the book is how easy it is to read. But I was also extremely impressed by the number of CEOs that are writing forwards and talking about this book, but also the impact that you've had on them as a leader. And I really loved your should I say, tribute to your father. I found that very touching. So Irene, growing up, what were those influences that brought out these leadership qualities in you? What are some of the, because they were talking about being a faithful, available, and teachable leader, being a leader that not only initiates change, but also leads people through it, and also is down to earth. At the launch, I saw people describe you as humble, which is true. Perfectionist, which is also true. You have just testified to that. But I also want to boast that Irene was one of the first people who ever interviewed me in the media. I'm honored to have that. And for an interview with Irene, it was something else, that level of preparation, you know. So where did you get these influences from?
You just spoke about tribute to my father. We all have footprints, and the footprints are all named tomorrow. So we have a culture. The most known culture is pertinence. We have a pertinence, which is a 10. But when we greet, we kneel down. So that to us was very instrumental and very important.
The culture norms.
The culture norms. Because as you grow, those are things that actually build you to be a very person, to be a very appreciative person, because then you know how to respect, you know how to be obedient, you know what not to do and what not to be able to do, what you should be able to do. So who you are, which is one of my first chapters, identity, is really your identity matters. What is that personality in you that allows you to be very excited and proud? I'm proud to be on Torah. I'm proud when I go down on my knees to be any other elderly person, regardless of my father or not. But that alone also puts you in a space of being a person of great relevance, because travel to the village, we were able to blend it all, because then the village has its own expectations, has its own dynamics. You know, everyone expects you to either to be a spoiled kid, but here you are, your foundation is who you are. Brings
you're
you
greeting
out.
the elders, you're kneeling.
Then my father was such a perfectionist as well. Much as he was such a very tough parent, not cross this living room of 6, that would be just living room for the elders. So you would be in your comfort zone somewhere near the kitchen to have dinner and sleep. But he also was in a position to bring up things that I observed and learned later as I grew up. Lessons. So environment that you're brought in allows you to pick certain things.
Yes.
Yeah. The environment I was brought up, we stayed with large of us at home. So I understand that for my dad to have an office within the home environment, when does he go to that office? How does he keep the office functional? Who gets to the office? What are they doing? When is the time for even having a hobby with friends? And we really had all this time.
Yes.
So you go to his office and it's so neat. There's a
OCD.
pen. He is doing everything in terms of accounting.
Yes.
I very bad accounting later on. But I think I picked some of these principles from him. So
early exposure, even as work,
is very important. But the moms do also play a very key role.
yes,
Because it's the mom who asks you to do what assignment at home, to do the sweeping or to do the normal chores. While we're brought up, having a maid was so luxury. So we have, but they would always be around for a specific time. Remember, during holidays, we would be told white carpet, and it would be me and my brothers, and you're like, when are we going to finish this? But not even a dot would be accepted to be found there. So that environment is very important. So who we are really starts from home, surroundings, it begins at home.
yeah,
I see that in my children, that for whatever you do, they actually observe and you don't need to force them to do it. They will pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Identity, environment. There's something big that you talk about in a huge way, confidence. How important is confidence in the development of a leader, even in the execution of your leadership duties, even in being a leader? How important is confidence? I follow you, and I know that you're always writing about how confidence is the most beautiful. What is that?
Most beautiful.
Yes, tell me about confidence. Did it just come naturally to you? Did you fake it? Did you make it? You make it that young person that's listening right now and they're suffering with confidence. When you suffer with issues of maybe self-esteem, or when you put in a place where, to be honest, you are not ready, maybe success happens to you when you're not yet ready. How do you get to that point where confidence is an outfit that you actually wear?
I wouldn't say there's a particular stage or moment for confidence, but we all get confidence at different times and levels. Why I speak of confidence in the first chapters of this book is introvert. I had a lot of fear in myself. So I'm the firstborn at home. Everything is expected to be done by you. You have boys who follow you. You have the whole ecosystem is expecting a lot from you. And then you need to be seen by this crowd. Yeah. And then on top of that, you're a young lady. Yeah. I'll give you my maybe earlier experiences where you're going to school, and it's a different school, and you have no clue what you're supposed to say or what they expect you to be able to say. But you need to find that level or that moment where you can speak out.
Yes.
And so I remember very well at school, I did not like sitting behind the back bench. I preferred the middle or regardless of the fear of the teachers mentioned my name, I would my hand would skip. What am So, but I'll try out any and
So you
attempt, yes.
always.
So it's very important to attempt.
Yes.
To be seen that you are within the space with everyone else. But also later on, I noticed that the more you fear, then the more you're left behind.
Yeah.
If that personality in me, I don't know that I see you do this recent, but the personality in you will always be craving for something,
Yes.
something good. Boys around me, what are they doing? If they're playing football, I'm going to be the goalkeeper. They do that so many times, you know. If they climb the tree,
You
I
are
also
goalkeeper?
tried, yes,
Wow.
to climb the tree and pick a ball or something. So it's important for the person we are speaking to right now, who feels like I cannot make it in this space. In the space of leadership, it's very competitive. It's a space where we have male,
Yeah, it can be
dominating. But believe me, I find male as the best friends you can have to pick up. The women will be so much disadvantageous to ourselves. But over time, my life experience showed me that confidence, regardless of fear, is very important. So you need to speak to the inner you and say, I can do it. Yes. The moment you express that, I can do it. Yeah, speak to yourself.
Yeah.
No one else is going to speak to you, because when you walk out, you say, maybe my shoe is yeah. My shoe maybe is not right, or I have a torn scarf, or I won't be able to say the right English, but just try it. And so the moment you speak to yourself, that's how you'll be able to build the confidence. And confidence is really nurtured.
Yes.
Over time.
Yeah.
It's step by step, and then you capture the space.
Wow. I like this. It speaks a lot of intentionality, being intentional, and it's a concept that you use in your book. And one of the things that is told to us about confidence, David in Psalm says, I encourage myself in the Lord. I'm sure many times David in the Bible was that person that was confronted by different situations. Yeah. I mean, one moment he's asked to play music for a demon-possessed soul, who has been having everybody in his wake. Then supposed to, I think before that he was fighting Goliath. Before that he was faced with a lion. Before that, so I'm amazed at the courage and confidence this boy exuded. But as you've said, it has been nurtured in small intentional steps. Tell me about that. I really love that mantra. It's very key because it speaks to stewardship. Because many of us sometimes for as long as we're not yet actually entrepreneurs on their journey, in your formative years, in your 20s, you're excited, yes, but then you join this job and then it's dull and boring. You might forget that this is where you've been planted, that you have a duty to blossom. How important is it? Okay, what do you mean by blossom? And according to you, how do you transform from someone who's just doing the daily rugged bits of work to someone who's actually being intentionally, who's growing intentionally?
So wherever you're planted, put it that for the benefit of the listeners and the viewers. To me, this, I think I was in my 20s. I started speaking to that as my mantra. Being a business journalist, and you would look at all these companies and the post who they are, or their mantra. And so I stumbled over said, remember this, but I can't. And that word was there, blossom where you planted. So I picked it as my mantra. And it's never been the same since then. So what I speak to here is, as Serena's a wife, the man God has chosen for me, or I have decided to say yes to, and the ups and downs. So I need to make it better and make it fulfilling, very satisfactory for myself. That is with family. The same with children. The children, regardless of who they are, it could be just girls or boys, those are the children that are blessed with. So you need to be able to nurture those children, love them, be passionate about them, because those are the gifts that God has given you. Now, when it comes to workplaces, every job I have been at, I've always looked at what is the gap. And the gap should be in here at Smart 24. And probably Francis, I was told Francis, right? I hope I mentioned his name right. Francis, the producer who has taken care of us today, and he's walked in, he's been able to clip the microphones very well, the lapel microphones very well in us, and told us how to sit. The next step is not to be able to do that, because that's the only way you're going to pick a skill. We speak of skills are not trained, actually. Skills are learned from the environment you are at. So blossoming where you are or wherever you are, blossom for me, for who I am, wherever I am, is always being able to observe what people are doing, being in position to study them. There's what they do and understudy someone when it's wants you to take on a certain role. So you don't need to wait for that. Study someone and be 3 steps ahead of them. And that will allow you to actually see something different that will make you happy, or that you bring on board that will be adopted. So studies above self is one of the chapters I speak to that comes to connect to blossom where you're planted, because there's no way you're going to do something with love and you don't pick out something you want to devote to exchange with.
That's a hard paper, Irene. A really tough sermon. But those of you that know, I really know that she's actually made it in this way. Anyone else?
From a really humble family.
Yes.
And so
tell
I
us
represent
about
everyone. Yes. The humble family means that everyone is Ugandan. Everyone definitely is born from a family. And I don't think when my mom gave birth to me, just was told that very day that she's going to be the handler of a president of Uganda. So it is what we do around people that will definitely become purpose life. And that definitely speaks to blossom.
When you are available, then you become relevant, because sometimes when they look around, it's the person that's available, the person that has taken that time to learn that extra skill that is going to give you that space. Now, tell me about embracing change. And this fascinates me about you, because much as when someone think, this is a very well brought up Mtoro, but you have worked outside Uganda. You have had a long distance relationship. You've looked after your family. You've had to move out of your comfort zone for work. Even the COVID situation. What would you say to somebody that is facing such opportunities and maybe is struggling with decisions in that area?
Well,
about having to work either outside your home area or your country, or work in a very new environment. Yes.
My career as a journalist, I think I spent most of the time out because I was required to have stories. I traveled within Uganda, outside Uganda, and at the end of my career, I then was into a new relationship, which is a new home, and children are coming along the way. I remember vividly leaving my little girls more than twice as they're breastfeeding and travel. Then you come back, the bus is heavy as not anyone else would want to. So those are sacrifices most times you have to take. One, because you need to grow.
Yes.
You cannot grow by staying in one place, and you cannot grow by not being exposed. So the exposure is very important.
That a prophet is not appreciated in their own home. So
Mm.
sometimes when you move, you add value.
Yeah.
Right?
You add value, and then you get to learn so many things that probably will come back and also be able to share with people that you're working with. So it's never easy. That I can tell you, Fiona. It's never easy.
Yeah.
How I was able to navigate through is being able to speak about it.
Yeah.
For every trip I had to make, I needed to speak with either my husband or the people who were going to give me the support system.
That's the support system.
The support system. Be able to get mom and say, I'm not going to be around here. There's a little kid who needs to be breastfed, but I'm not here. And
so you had to be accountable also.
Also remember there are moments actually of be able to leave school, and I had to ensure I left their uniform for the 7 days arranged in that
order.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have to be part of that sacrifice, part of the situation, for you to be able to come out of it. But you need to speak, and you need to find support system around you, and need to share even your challenges so that you can get the best solutions out of it.
Wow.
Yeah. So the jobs, you also spoke of my current job, same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same thing. I remember towards the elections, where I expected to be almost at every corner of this country. You still know that your children are either back home for holiday and around for probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And you need your time as a mother. And you also have to travel. And you have to travel. So I have moments where I would actually either go, when I would go earlier, I would invite them to come the next day. So I'd find a hotel where I would be closer with my station, and the evening I would retire to family. For everything we do, family is the best thing to fall back. But you have to be also very intentional to bring them to your space so that you can understand.
Yes.
It took them to understand why is she away. My son, senior 4 holiday, I think I missed it. I remember coming back and he told me, Mom, I'm only here for 2 weeks and you're not here. Yeah. So we have to have an explanation to tell him, look here, I don't do this because I'm selfish. I do this because one, I'm a mother who needs to also contribute to the bread that is back home. And then secondly, to plan for your future. So that discussion with children, or with the support team, or with the spouse is very, very important.
Yeah.
What kills us most times, we think we can do it all, and then
That is true.
you stop everyone from even understanding who you are.
You don't let people
People come into you to understand you, and they'll be free with what you're doing. The most question I always interface with is, then as a wife, how do you do it? Believe me, I play my role as a wife.
Yeah.
When you go back home, Mr. Mugisha needs to find that you can be in position to prepare that cup of tea. It does not matter what your day was.
Where
You need to address that, leave it somewhere,
Yeah.
and then when you're at home, you be that spouse that he or she appreciates.
Yeah.
So it's really very intentional.
I love this. I have this quote. I kept it when you mentioned this. She says, the CEO in you is more refined as sometimes. Being titled as a teacher is an automatic indicator of my KPIs as the CEO of the home. I love that.
Very true.
But you also say when leading others, you need to practice humility, which is self-effacement. You have to be vulnerable, I think. And I think one big thing I read from you is how accountable you had to be. Because we always say, get a support system. But you need a support system that believes in what you're doing, and also believes that whatever you're doing is for them. And that requires you being vulnerable, accountable. And I like your scripture, this chapter, I love it, service above self. Matthew 23:11. So servant leadership is something that we really espouse at SLI. And I love listening to employers speaking about you at the beach. You have sat at the feet of greatness. But there's an African proverb that says the child that his hands will sit at the table of elders. However, one of the problems we have found is that yes, when you sit at the table of elders, how do you prepare for that table of elders? You will, if you wash your hands, you will get there. But when you are at the table of elders, what keeps you there? When you are dealing with greatness on a daily and rigors, and that you have to be all these other things. What is your value system? What are those things? I know you're probably hinting at it, but what are those things that are no areas for you? Your value system.
Value system is very low.
Yes.
And to me, that is number one.
Yes.
Very, very low. But I know these are your principles. It will take me 3 steps to ensure I work towards those principles. The other bit is you've said if you're at the table of the elders. The elders always look forward to be served. Always look forward to be obeyed. Yes. You know, always look forward to be respected. Always look forward to have the humility, the best humility in someone's personality. So to me, the one thing I've noticed, when you're loyal to yourself, then you have to be loyal to the people around you. The elders exhume a lot of knowledge. That for you to tap into that knowledge, they need to be comfortable to share with you. That's powerful. For the elders, yes, to be able to be comfortable to share that knowledge, and for you to tap into that knowledge,
to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And
What is
service and
respect?
obedience.
Service and obedience.
That's a tough sermon, Irene. For the youth of today, Gen Z, who want their opinion heard sometimes before they even listen to yours. I think that's a tough sermon. But coming from somebody who's serving in the highest office, I think that is very, very good advice. I hope you're listening out there. I want to take a minute to recognize our listeners. We have Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity. They're listening in. It's exciting to see them. We have another leader who was speaking here before, Brenda Akia, the CEO representative of the African Union. We have so many people here. We have people from we have someone from Rwanda. I see someone from Rwanda. I see Dr. Jerry. We have medical doctors online. I see Achai Gabriel, that's a lawyer. I see very many listeners. Thank you so much for listening in. Irene, we usually play a small game on this show. We ask our guests to tell us 2 things that are not true and 1 thing that is true. So you're going to tell us 3 things. Yeah. You just choose the 3. And of these 3 things, 2 should be lies and 1 should be true. So it's really a test to the audience to see how well they know Irene or how well they can guess what it is. So just think about 2 things, 3 statements, and 2 of them all will be false or true, and the other one will be either false or true as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you can say.
Yeah.
2 things that are true about me.
No, I don't want you to tell us the things that are true. I want you to tell us 3 statements. They will choose what is true and what is false. Yes. If you want a minute, we can think through it. Yes. So, members, thank you so much for being online. If you those on TV, you're listening to us live from Smart 24 TV. teachable talk with the author of The CEO in You, a book that's written by Irene Birun. Changemaker. Yes. And she says she blossomed where she started. And today the challenge I hear from Irene is in your growth journey to leadership or as a leader, it's very important to be humble. She's told us about the importance of sitting at the feet of others. But once you're there, you also need to make the others feel safe enough to pass on the knowledge and respect and humility. But I think she emphasizes loyalty and servant leadership. So Irene, coming back to the book, what inspired you to write this book? You're quite young, if I may say so myself. So why did you write this book? Or who inspired you? And if people don't remember anything else, do you think it's a good idea for people to write books? Because a lot of people ask themselves, what have I done for me to write a book?
And I want to just read that somewhere because all of us keep in mind.
Yes.
As I start my first chapter, it's about build confidence, who you really are, and excitement.
Yes.
It's not a human being without a story. I'm learning that anyone with a story, and we all have one, has greatness in them, even though our greatness is displayed on the outside.
Yes.
It is almost always the function of what is working inside us. So why I wrote this book? I've always wanted to write a book actually, because being a journalist, I always journal something. So I have a number of journals. Sometimes when I have my free time, I'm writing something. It's writing to God. There are so many love letters to God.
Nice. Did you write some more?
Quite a number. To be the next book I want to.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I love writing, and so my first book I thought would be about image, because while I was I thought image, bringing out image in a positive way would be very nice for people to understand why. And so that did happen, but now at the point of COVID, the time of uncertainty, we are all closed away from family. Myself, from family for some good months. And when I say away from family, I really mean away from family, where you're not told to go travel, have fun, but you really force it's away from family and you don't know what next. At the first week of very sleepless, I would wake up very late or very early in the morning, and I'm wondering,
Is your sense of
yes,
time?
I'm like, is it important for me to be here? So for me to pour that out and find the seamless of being vulnerable and being able to do something different each day, I decided to step away. So that's how I started. Speaking, I just decided to type away. But that very morning, I remember I went through my tab and I saw quite a number of journals I had written. And so I said, why don't I write about myself? So that's how I started.
Oh, so you found you already had a voice.
Yes.
You already had a voice. I think it's very important for people to find their voice and then find their message. I think that being a journalist was something you tapped into. And I'm sure whoever's listening out there, it's probably going to come from who you are as a person, what you believe, what you're experiencing. But also, I think you have to make time for the good things, right? At some point, this book became more than typing away. I mean, the lockdown ended. What got you inspired to write this book? Because it's a work of 3 years, right?
Yes,
That's a lot.
It's a work of, it's a journey of 3 years, which I'm very proud that I'm part of the author club right now. But along the way, then I was able then to find the essence of who is I really speaking about.
Yes.
Is the story worth telling? What am I teaching? I'm a mentor. I mentor so many beautiful young men and women out there. And those that I actually have come to me several times.
Mm.
So there's a teaching that if I cannot reach every person, then if I write down those small journey pointers, which are called nuggets of sorts, you know, then people will be able to appreciate them.
Mm.
But then also along the way, see, there's this whole perception of so many leaders. We actually look at the leaders and we think they're either there by default, or they are lucky, or there is this, wrong perception, I may put it.
Yes.
But there is a journey to every leader that we come to meet or we come to be part of their journey. So to me, I thought it was very inspirational for me, first of all, that I wrote this book. And I believe and really pray that it inspires so many of us. I continuously go through the pages and I'm like, wow. Towards the launch, I've had a hitch of saying, should I stop? Am I ready to release my story out there?
No, it's out there.
Yeah.
It's out there. I remember one of the things that impressed me about the people were buying these books for schools. And I think His Excellency bought about 1,000 books. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there and you want to buy a book, buy two, sometimes the best thing you can do for a young person is buy them a book. But I want to tell you this book is a book that should be read by CEOs, by board chairs and directors, but also if you are in a growth journey, career-wise, she has all these nuggets of wisdom. Having sat at the table of many, many elders, she talks about, what are those trade-offs, that are going to happen? What are those things that you might have to sacrifice? And how do you push yourself in making this sacrifice? When you talk about purpose, she breaks it down. And I really like how you break down purpose, because purpose is quite an elusive concept sometimes when we are dealing with our own personal growth. So I really thought about that statement yet.
Wow. Irene loves adventure. Irene is a born
Adventure.
And she's a sports fanatic.
Sports fanatic.
The third one,
Yes.
which is so obvious, Irene is a Christian. So
You said obvious. It has to be,
okay, adventure. She's a sports person.
Yes.
And Irene loves cake.
Loves cake.
Yeah.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's up to you to choose what is true and what is false. Irene, does she love adventure? Does Irene love sports? Is she a sports fanatic? And does she love cake? We're eliminating things like, does she love Maurice and Jesus? Those are very, very obvious. Yeah, so just another question. Having a celebrity, so to speak, your spouse is a celebrity, you're a celebrity, you've been in the journalistic area, the camera has been on you. How do you balance? And I'm talking about balancing because you're a very grounded person who, from what you've said, values family a lot. And you're also very passionate about your work life, your work life and making it. At some point, you talk about trade-offs. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with the issue of trade-offs as a couple? And how do you also, how can I say this? Because I'm sure there are trade-offs as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, even with the extended family. How would you tell that young person or old person, for that matter, who looks like they're dropping some balls? How do you? Because I think that is the conundrum, especially for people working.
You explained it. The era today is about the man has to be part of the working class.
Yes.
It's not anymore the duty of the mom. Even the mom stay homes have something to do.
Even they are busy, quite
they
busy.
are quite busy. Yes. So the balancing and body, and this will take back 2015 when I was doing the postgraduate first class actually. The tutor asked us that just the next day all I want is just 10 hours to give her 10 hours within the 24 hours of the day that you can have in a week. So 24 for the 7 days, just get 10 hours, those 10 hours. And we actually all looked at her and we said, she's crazy. There's no way I can get those hours. Yeah. But it was an assignment, so we went home. It was amazing that we actually came up with the 10 hours. And to me, the 10 hours were totally to see how best can you make time for yourself. Yeah. You know, when you talk about balancing, you don't have to leave yourself out. The whole balancing act starts with the individual. You know, you have to be mentally stable, you have to be healthy enough to be able to balance all the other challenges, all the other attractions around you. Yes. So it starts with you that I have my time. Today I really want to get to myself, I want to sing, I want to be at home. Yes. And I remember at that point I decided to have the Wednesday as my day. So my day off. Yes. First, you cannot get a day for now Wednesday if you're not a manager. So you have to be a manager to delegate work. Unfortunately, I was in a position to delegate work, so you also have to appreciate that you can delegate work. You train people to be able to question everything else that you are supposed to do. So I got a Wednesday as my day off, and I always use the Wednesday just to sleep, to listen to music, to watch movies that I love, and probably to make my place or my home look lovely. And at the end of it all, I have mentioned this in just a few minutes, that get to know what you're supposed to do for the people around you. The children that are of school and they have to come back, how are you taking them in the morning? Who is speaking them? So that's something you share with whoever is around you, your support team. Yes. So I knew I wouldn't be in position to pick my girls. I had to make sure I have that pitch with my husband, and she will pick the children from school. And so, but I'm home in time, make sure they have dinner, they have done their homework, and I'm a bit relaxed as well, that I'm not stressed to go to the traffic and pick the children. Now, when it comes to also the balancing act, is with your spouse. You know, it's something everyone can achieve, but to me, I played it my way, and I think it worked. That the trade-off I did at the time of saying I know to the CNBC very juicy job, I stayed in all the 5-star hotels that I wanted to have stayed in, but there was no meaningful life. Yes. At the end of it all, I retired in a 5-star hotel. I didn't have love. Laundry stuff for you, but then you're on phone trying to find out how they come back home, are they doing the homework, who is helping them. And my spouse was very, or he's very supportive. Everything is okay. But the stress I had each single day was not making me passionate to continue with the job. So I remember just waking up and saying no and coming back home. It was the best job I've done for myself. And I'm not saying everyone should do that kind of job, but there are things that you can truly find that are not giving you happiness, that you should not stick to it. If I did not trade off for my young age children that time, I would have lost them that time. Even more than my presence then, more that mom says no to this, mom says yes to this, than what is now, because now they're of age, they're teenagers. But everything they've learned was that time. Yes. Yeah, so the balancing act, again, it's an individual responsibility. My balancing act won't be the same with yours. It won't be the same with
like what you
everyone
say.
Yeah.
Balance yourself.
It's very
balance
important.
Everything else. Wow, very precious nuggets. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking for the poll so far. That's Irene loves adventure. Does she love sports? Or can she, is she
Or
able
do
to
I
resist
love
a
cake?
piece of cake? Yes. So just comments here as we invite people to ask questions. Brenda Akia says, thank you, Irene Mugisha, for sharing your wisdom with us. Indeed, the aim is to be wanted. And then Brenda says that yes, adventure and true. So I don't know, we'll see. Itesi Rolla says, I'm not a CEO, but I really appreciate ladies who are CEOs and the CEO. Yes. I think what Irene is saying is be a CEO. You must read your book. So tell us, where can we get this book, Irene?
The book is available at our store or the outlets. It's also available at the bookshop
Okay.
under the book point.
Yes.
It will be available on Amazon, I think, by the end of this week, both for hard copy or.
Have you heard that, ladies and gentlemen, it will be available on Amazon the week, but for those that are able to go to a Restock Booklex or any of their outlets, the book points, you'll be able to get yourself a copy of CEO in You, Blossom Where You Planted. This is the point at which we entertain some questions, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have a question, just click on your mic and request to speak. And our admin will let you in, let you ask a question. So Irene, what is the one thing that if somebody did read your book, but they experienced you, what's the one thing that you never forget?
I was just going to say the lady is not a CEO. I just want to tell everyone there that you're a CEO. By the fact that you breathe every morning, by the fact that you wake up and you have a mind of sense of saying, I want to eat food, you already see, because you already find what you want to eat, you already find what you want to put on, you already find what the next things you want to do in terms of and I may for my JD, job description, but I'll be able to do ABCD. So I want for everyone to know that you are a CEO. CEO is not the chief executive officer, is appointed in these glossy, beautiful offices of ours. My managers at home, the ones we call household, I call them managers.
Yes.
They are CEOs.
Yes.
So they are CEOs because they plan for your meal, they ensure that your house is clean, they ensure that your life, the environment around you is actually comfortable. Meaning that purpose of you being a CEO, the one to make a difference for someone, is already automatic in everyone. Yes. So I really want to encourage, look at your purpose and define it yourself. Don't wait for the job or the situation to find that purpose for you. Yeah.
So you have to be the CEO of yourself before you can be effective in your life.
We have so many beautiful sounds in our system, either when you wake up or when you go to sleep, and most of them could be fear or could be uncertainty. But the sounds of uncertainty and the fear and the challenges is where you get to know what actually you can do best, And I believe so that when COVID happened, so many people did find themselves. Don't wait for that situation to be thrown at the uncertainty. Find yourself everywhere you are. And
Wow, Irene, when I look at lessons, I've been writing down as you spoke, and you've lived a very intentional life, and I want to thank you first of all for accepting to come here. And now I want to take you into leadership. We talked about the CEO in you. We talked about all these things we've been talking about were really leadership, but ethics. Tell me, what's your view on ethics?
Ethics. Wow. Where I mentioned loyalty, ethics I think is equivalent to loyalty.
Yeah.
As a journalist, one of the I'm very, very profound of my reputation. Even when I pray to God, I say, God, protect my reputation. So the moment you're so particular of your reputation, that will be about the ethics. Because the reputation is going to be able to be tied to what you're doing right, not what you're doing or what you're doing wrong. So my reputation has been on the level or the flow of doing it right.
Yes.
That if I know the world doesn't want me to go to her home, then there's no need for me to go to her home. If I know I'm supposed to take a job that tells me to be in that space at a particular time, then I should be there at that particular time. I should not, probably what as leaders we should do is not use your influence to manipulate a situation.
Not abuse your influence.
Because we believe as leaders you have so many handlers around you, right? You have the receptionist, you have admin, you have name it. And what I mean about abuse is either misinterpret situations of the people you're working with and trying to overshadow them. Take advantage of them. So my ethics
So integrity starts from there.
It's not just about your reputation. The integrity will come to play.
I like what you said, the least of our brother. You know, Jesus said, whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that's the litmus test. It's not it's not what your bosses say about you that's going to determine what your reputation is. It's what that sweet pie in the office, that person, that young person, because of how you relate with them. The reason I ask this is because we live in a country and a world where people think that it's the wicked who prosper, you know, and yet at the same time we're trying to grow children and young people, and we're trying to tell them you need to be ethical. So sometimes I'm being told by young people that ethical is equivalent to poverty, you know. So I'm telling you, Irene, I really want you to talk to these young people. Poverty,
No,
the ethical.
And ethical, I know would definitely use to issues of integrity and issues of integrity is being values and not being able to be greedy. You know what greedy means? You can really be compromised of your own values. Now, the ones and those again, really integrity is in every little bit of your work that you're doing. If I have, for instance, let me give a reference to my farm. I run a PR farm as a director. It's celebrating 15 years. Yes,
that's all.
So, if I'm an employer, and for instance, I have an accountant who decides that for us to be able to make we need to forge around the books of accounts. I have been audit our books. So for every audited books, and it doesn't matter how much money you're going to let go. It is all about what credibility are you going to have at the end of the day.
Credibility that is your business.
Credibility that is business. When you're going in for bids, it will attract audited books, you know. So there is need for us as leaders to actually look at these ethical values. Very, very important. When you read a book, you will see that I think I was only interviewed for 2 jobs. Most of the jobs have been referral. Someone looking out for, we're looking for so and so, but we've been told it's who can do this. At the high office where I'm at, it started off by a referral. They were looking for a communication specialist, and they were told the only person who could do that was Irene. And I started off just as a one-off, and then later on I was recommended for the office. So integrity will get you far. It will definitely get you far. It may not take you as fast as you want, because the young generation will tell you to talk to now, want things now. I have now
now?
I haven't. He's not anymore. He's not a teenager anymore. He's a youth. My son is 26 today.
Wow, congratulations.
And so,
The Twitter Spaces, I need you to look at Irene's picture on the book. That's actually Irene. I think she has a 26-year-old.
26-year-old.
May I look like you when my child was 26?
Yeah, but I'm not as young as you.
No, we're calling it. We're
yeah.
keeping this. Yeah.
So he's 26, and every now and then when he was on his first job, he kept saying, "Mom, I think I should do this so that I can get this fix." And I'll tell him, he would talk about it over and over and again, and I'll tell him, "Trevor, no,
Do the hard work.
do the hard way." And then definitely now he gets to understand, but it becomes very hard for that generation, the next generation we're speaking to understand that integrity is very important.
Yes.
And of course, the story around will say, but so and so has achieved that
In a
by
short
doing
time.
this.
Yes.
So why am I so patient? But there's a lot of satisfaction to know that I was able to buy my first car over my own savings. So that means the time you buy the first car by your own savings, then everything else will be fantastic. Everyone would say, "Oh, but you're beautiful, it's not able to bring you exercise." I never allowed anything from any external person, not even from any person who admired me. So I believed doing things my way and achieving them the right way. But at the
I
end,
like to say it will take you far. I don't think you as fast, but you will
go far.
Yeah, we've seen that sometimes taking the shortcuts can take you back, can take you backwards, can make you resit papers in life.
The chairman of the PCF right now, Abraham Rana, had a meeting. I know they have meetings with him just for a briefing. And I remember when I came to and said, you're nominated as the chairperson. Her words were, "You worked with my late father, and I remember him talking about your integrity. It's the only reason I am here."
Yeah.
So really, you may not know what you're
It's a
doing.
good
The name will take
take you
places.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you've had this. A good name. I think that is why Excellency was able to put his name on your work. I remember him saying, "I'm glad I get to read the whole book," but he was going to read it and co-author the edition with you. I read that
So
and
principle.
I think that that says a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't say it any better than Irina said it. A good name will take you very, very far. He took her all the way to State House. This is a point at which I ask if there's any questions. Does anyone have a question for Irene? Just click on the microphone and we'll give you the authority to speak. But please click on our poll. There's a poll on the Twitter space. Does Irene love adventure? Sports fanatic? Does she love cake? That's on the Face Leadership Institute page. Just go there and click on what you think is true. I think she loves adventure, and I think she loves cake. So far, nobody thinks you love cake. Can you believe that? Although I do, but that's the point. The point is not here. But 50%, it's 50-50. So everybody thinks you do not eat cake. I think because you look very fit, they don't think you take things with sugar. We are going to find out in just a few minutes. Irene, how this journey of yours? I'm sure you're growing up and with somebody who is into goals. How do you see Irene maybe in 5 to 10 years?
Well, think of mindfully realized that I believe I'm still getting through that. I love giving back to the community, and to me, my space is actually out to the community to speak for the voices. In doing that with platforms, I'm blessed to be working in as a journalist, as a career woman. So it's where I see myself really is giving back to the community. My home is in Ruti, where we have a home, myself and my husband. to speak to the ladies around that
In
place.
Ruti.
In Ruti, I've created an association
Oh,
called
wow.
Kayosha Women Association,
Yeah.
just to ensure that as and when I have time, I can be able to listen to what are their challenges, but more so to encourage them. And so, everybody be in position to use the side to add value to these women who are into agriculture, who are into the different activities that they're doing to earn a living.
Yes.
We know that women are really of great business, and we need to also uplift our fellow ladies. The other bit, which I've shared with you before, is create also a group of ladies who are there now. In this case, 10 of us, and then we go out to the different schools and different platforms and aspire to inspire people of the younger generation.
Yes.
That is another thing I would love to do. So I really am seeing myself to be more impactful. Let me be in position to create an impact to
On
so many
others.
people.
Yes.
I believe in leaving footprint behind. So it
Yeah.
can't just be where I am at, but also out there. And this is really fitting into the biggest vision I've been having for the last 15 years. Because I've spoken this with my close family, especially my husband, is to have an international studio where I can invite people to speak.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to
Wow,
That's like,
FLI.
the
I'm seeing this
Smart
vision,
24 is
you know?
hosting us.
Yes.
So I'm into training, I'm into building capacity, I'm into inspiring. So that is the space
And you
I
see
want
yourself
to
as
do.
doing more and more of that.
And
Well,
and
from
I-
your lips to God's ears, we want to give that to you and to say thank you for giving of your life. Thank you for giving of yourself. This book, ladies and gentlemen, is something you need to read. It takes you through Irene's story. She was opinionated young lady. Shares interesting nuggets. The things here that people
it's a
need to
life
discover.
story through a glass.
You know?
Everything in a glass is
I mean, it
visible.
took His Excellency traveling to Thailand. You need to read his story. That is many, many years ago. It took, how you and Maurice met. That's really exciting. How you met your first boss, Mr. Wabamuno, in interesting place. I think I love all the stories. And interwoven, there are all these nuggets about leadership, about family, about navigating this growth thing into leadership, about being CEO, about having a strategic plan for your life, and about ensuring that you're intentional in every aspect of your life. This is a wealth of knowledge. Thank you, Irene. As the Fidel Institute, we have already purchased copies, and we shall be sharing them. We are not going to familiarize. We need to buy our own copies. We shall be sharing in schools because we also have youth outreach, and we want to be able to share this rich message that you've given. But one of the things that I also want to say as we close is, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard what I really talking about, and we always say that at the Institute that Africa has everything it takes to succeed. We have young, hungry people hungry to succeed, hungry to work. We have the young generation in the world. We have people that believe, the enormous faith that we have, the amount of money that in churches, just tithing alone. When you look at the entrepreneurial spirit of Africans, there's always, mobile money. Even in tech, we're still leading in innovations on this continent. They might be as successful, might be as advanced as the West and other places. So much there. Then we have the minerals, we have the natural resources, the wealth. And yet at the same time, we are still regarded as backward, we're still regarded as a developing country or underdeveloped. And this is, for me, because our leadership lacks, you know, that little thing. We even have great leaders, but we need to tweak the ethics. We need to ensure that we have leaders who are faithful to their mandate, who are very aware of their purpose, what you've been saying, who are very intentional in their living. I like that part of stewardship. We talk about you need to be very, very aware that you are blossoming where you're planted. That is so meaningful. That it makes sure that you don't waste a moment of your career. Leaders who are available. I like how available you are. So you are fantastic daughter. You know, I really like to have
beautiful,
you.
powerful word.
Yes,
Available.
And you're being available not only to His Excellency where you serve, not only to your family, but also to other women who might never see the place where you are. You have gone there and given all the service. And not only that, we had every woman and empower the women there. I think it would be transformational. Thank you for that. I've been inspired.
Thank you.
But I also think that we need leaders who are teachable. You've also been learning. And you told us confidence is something to learn. Public speaking, learn. All these things are not skills that you're born with or gifted with. Things that if you're intentional enough, you will learn. You know, when I watch Barack Obama, I see this gentleman. He's what was his name? Maxwell. No. One of his mentors is not Martin Luther King, but the other one. Forget. Yes, and when you listen to remember, somebody on Twitter, please put it there. Apart from Martin Luther King, the other Muslim fundamentalist, I think in the US, he was a human rights activist. Yes. Now, if you listen to his speeches and you listen to Barack Obama's speeches, it's almost the same person. Yeah. You can see. So when you look at Irene's life, you see the footsteps of her mother, you see the footsteps of her father, you see the footsteps of maybe and all the other leaders that have been in her life. So who is speaking in your life is the question today. At whose feet are you sitting? These people that you're sitting at the table with, are they comfortable? Are you honoring them so that they pour themselves into you? You know, or are you just passing through your life like a rolling stone that gathers no moss? And I always tell people that it's very, very dangerous for you to experience a human being even for a few minutes and not be impacted. That's why I said. So let's be people of impact. I love your dream to be a person of impact. But I think also impressed on me the importance of words. I love words, yes, I do value words. But I think she has impressed on me too, and I hope on you as well, the importance of speaking to yourself, speaking in yourself, affirm yourself. Whenever you want to ask whether you're balancing your life work, ask, are you balancing yourself? Are you okay inside there? Because without you being okay, it's a very bad foundation for whatever else you're going to do. So it's been the Fidelis Leadership Institute. It's been Smart 24 TV, and it's been Irene Birunji Mugisha about the CEO in You, that's available on Amazon starting next week, and that's also available at Aristoplex. And I'm also letting you know that very, very soon you will be able to get the copies. Where else? The book. That one. Various bookshops in and around Kampala. But Irene, we have a readership and listenership that spans across. We have the United States, we have from Canada. We usually have listeners from all over, and those can get this book on Amazon. So thank you so much. And it's both in hard copy and soft copy. It's a beautiful book, and Irene is very generous. There's two beautiful, what are they called? Bookmarks that come from books. So it's a very beautiful book, very beautiful written. It's easy to read. I was able to read it in about 3 days, 3 busy days. So I really want to thank you. You made my
inspired.
Yes, it's my read. It's a read. I can't justify because it's a very interesting but very hard to read. And I also like that authenticity that comes out of this is the messages from your family, from the people that have led you, the people that have worked with you. I think for me that speaks to who you are. Then it's very easy to listen to you because these people have, you know, ushered us into who Irene is. And it's amazing. Thank you, Irene, for your repertoire of knowledge, for what you brought to the table. This is the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what our poll says. Our poll says 62% believe you love adventure, 38% believe you are sports fanatic, 0% states that you love cake. So I really give us that reveal.
No, actually, you're very right.
They're very right. These people know you. Wow.
I love adventures.
What sports do you play?
I do swimming,
Oh,
and as well as a bit of football.
oh wow. Football. Interesting. So the goalie thing was true. And then adventure.
I love going places.
Yeah. If you followed Irene's blog, I think you need to start a vlog. You don't have but I've been following Instagram, and it shows that yes, you do love adventure. Then is there
One
any
way to
other-
detox, and I have to really invest a lot into adventure.
Isaac Bakashala has a question. This is Bakash Foundation. Can I let him ask, please? Isaac, given permission. Is he still online? Okay. Isaac had a question that I think he hasn't been able to, but Irene is still part of our page going forward. Reach out and follow her. Let me see her. I want to see her handle. Yes, Irene Birungi. If you don't follow Irene Birungi, you're not in Uganda. Because I think she has followers. So please follow Irene Birungi. Ask her questions. Online, I see Boaz Shani. Boaz Shani, for me, Irene is one of those people whose feet I sat at. He taught me everything social media. That's early as 2009, you know. I'm one of the oldest people in Uganda on Twitter because of Boaz Shani. Hi, Boaz. Kudos to you. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, it's been such a pleasure having you around, listening to Irene speak about the CEO in You, the book that she's recently authored, and forward by none other than His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's very unique. We also need to remember that Irene is married to a serious CEO of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, Maurice Mugisha, and I think they make such a great pair when it comes to a testimony of marriage, leadership, servanthood, but even serving the government of Uganda. You people have really served us. Thank you very much. And one of the things that I've also noticed is that one of our listeners is Kampala Smart School. I don't know who these are, but we're very happy that they're here because it's a book.
Yes.
It's a book that's really teaching skills, and I'm hoping that it will be the next literature to be
And
taken
it's
up.
really a book to inspire everyone.
Yes.
I tried this book for money at all. I just thought it's the right time to share the basic principles.
Yes.
And for me, my take homes for everyone to be able to have relevance for history. History is who you are, where you come from. Be able to define standards, the standard of yourself again, and everything else that you want to be. But also to be convicted and have courage in doing things.
So personally, I've seen Irene develop into this leader. She's always been a formidable journalist, and I first met her when she interviewed me many, many years ago. And now it's such a blessing to sit here and watch you blossom into this person that you are. It's such a blessing to hear your wisdom, to hear all the places that you've been. But it's also really, really a wonderful testimony to sit and see even your employers speak about the impact that you're having on them. So thank you so much for giving of yourself. Please keep on. I think finally, hi, Isaac.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you for hosting Irene, one of the great change makers, and allowing us to learn for free. I mean, to listen. So, my question goes to Irene is one: how can organized youth who are willing to learn from you and change makers that has been hosting for quite some time now, starting January? How could we tap into the spaces or into the leadership forums that you are running, like to learn? Because we have as young people at this moment is there's a mismatch of what we learn from and then what we are finding in the field. So I think we need a platform or being given space leadership spaces like Fidelis, and I'm glad now you're sharing knowledge through your book. But we need more interactions like this where young people can learn and get the knowledge, and because we have the skills, but the ethics, the basic skills, the interpersonal skills. So we are working about that. Many young people don't know about that. So how we tap into those spaces at the moment, the spaces where we can really learn from leaders, from many people, because as we talk about the discussion, how we learn people who have been there before you, the elders, the leaders, including the head of the state. So I think young people should be spaces because they are young people who are serious to learn from you, many others like. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Isaac. That's a very awesome thought processes. One thing really I may say is you're very right. There's need to give youth that platform so that they can be able to actually pick the right narrative, have the mindset change to what we think is right, what they think they're doing. And through the networks that I'm dealing with directly, for instance, the president, it's one of the things we are going to be very intentional with is create room for youth, especially in apprenticeship. We tend to see how we can provide these corporate companies or CEOs who are present and are willing to take on and uplift the young generation under apprenticeship or under mentorship, and I believe that will be one of the ways we can speak to their interest of growing and being better and adding value to the country. A week ago, I met the youth, not youth, of course, but young voters who are doing, and they're 1,970. And so a group of 6 came to meet me at the office and said, we're here. We're done with this internship. What next? And that's a huge outcry for everyone, And so, of course, I spoke to them and said, government not be in position to give you jobs, but we need to talk and see where is your skill, where is your interest. And one thing I told them, I said, wherever been doing internship in Moroto. One of them was from Moroto. Up there, in that hospital, what was the gap? And so the gentleman said, yes, they don't know how to engage the sick people and information sharing. I said, do you think if we took you back, that would be something that you would work on, you know? And so it's really bringing them on board and speaking to them and looking at what exactly we can all do together, because sometimes we look out for the white collar jobs as priority, but there are things that we can do and nurture and become relevant without actually looking for the white collar jobs. So I totally agree with you, Isaac, and I am a free person. I have an open door system. You can reach me out as and when you want to, and we can speak more of this.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. I think this is the book because as a Media Foundation, have some copies. Do you wanna
I'll put you in touch with some books on board.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
That was so to speak, you know. Should be able to be available. What is available? So where you
the way you've been today,
yes, platform, and a number of you, and get to know more what can be done.
yeah.
I think that is also possible.
So Bakash, you can now line her up as a speaker. Bakash Foundation is starting a career mentorship program in partnership with Fidelis.
Awesome.
We'll be doing it every month. We're starting this Saturday, and I'm excited about what I'm thinking. We shall make sure the books are there. And this Saturday we'll have a meal talk, so it'll be quite exciting. And I want to thank you again. Thank you for being available. Very few people would just say, reach out to me, you know. Thank you so much for being available. So I see in you, we see the woman herself in action. And Irene is such a polite person that even the book has a sticker already thanking you for your order. This book, invest in yourself, balance yourself, have values, be very tough about your values, be very disciplined, and remember to create a support system that believes in you, to whom you are accountable, in order for you to discover and grow the CEO in you. It's been Fiona Wall from the Fidelis Leadership Institute with Irene Biruti from the President's Office, but also from All Round Consult. And we also want to thank the 24 TV.
Thank you.
And the FAT Fellowship.
Today about faith, available, and teachable. Three beautiful principles.
Yes.
I remember you sharing these principles, I think, way before even COVID.
Yes.
And you talked about them during the launch of the pillars.
Yes.
And what I picked from that was, again, the word availability. It's very important to be available.
Yes.
Thank you so much for what you're also doing.
Yes.
I appreciate Smart 24. It speaks to the space I love most. Business support.
Yes.
So well done. Yeah.
So thank you so much. Our FAT Leadership program is also starting in May. We have a full leadership 16 weeks that we do for young people out there. So it's starting in May. You'll get the communications. It will start in June, but recruitment happens in May. And of course, that's been going on. They're graduating in May. We're very excited. I think we'll invite you. Just, never know your busy schedule. But we also want to congratulate FITSPA, our partners. FITSPA is the Association of Fintechs. They decided that these 2 months were about educating women in leadership, and Fidelis has been doing that with them, and we're excited that the graduation is next week. This eminent fintech leaders who are women are going to graduate from a program where they've been learning so many things. They're going to be able to apply these things. And I think the banking sector is increasingly being led by women. So if we take it into the fintech sector, I think that's going to be transformational. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you for being with us. Please remember to be faithful to your values. You better have values available to those that need you, that need your voice, and teachable in your reputation. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. And blossom while you plant. Yes, very important.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
Awesome.
Are we done?
I believe so. The producer disappeared though.